Welcome back to Grammar Grade 9. This is Unit 7, Lesson 55, and it's the finale of the unit. We've spent this unit getting pronouns and their antecedents to agree. Today, we make sure every pronoun is crystal clear about which noun it stands for. When a reader can't tell what a pronoun means, even a perfect-looking sentence quietly falls apart. So let's learn to spot fuzzy reference and fix it. 3 common traps and 1 simple test that catches them all. So why does clear reference matter so much? Here's the heart of it. A pronoun borrows its meaning from one noun. On its own, a word like he, she, it, or they means almost nothing. It only comes alive when we know exactly which noun it stands for. Look at this. Nadia grabbed her umbrella before the storm. The word her clearly points to Nadia with no doubt at all. That's exactly how a pronoun should feel. When it's working, the reader must know at once which noun you mean. There shouldn't be even a flicker of hesitation. So here's our goal for today: clear reference, where every pronoun has one obvious owner. Now for the first trap, ambiguous reference. That's when a single pronoun could point to 2 different nouns, and the reader can't be sure which one you mean. Picture a coach on one side, a referee on the other, and the little word he caught right in the middle. When you write he, which one does it grab? Watch it happen in a real sentence. The coach argued with the referee until he left. Who left? We honestly can't tell. He could be the coach or the referee, and that doubt is the whole problem. The fix is to stop guessing and name the person. The coach argued with the referee until the referee left. A touch repetitive, sure, but now nobody has to wonder. The second trap is vague reference. This one shows up with the words this, that, which, and it. When you toss one out, but there's no clear noun for it to point back to. Take this sentence. The store lost power, which ruined the whole day. Now, which what? There's no single noun that which is naming. It's just gesturing at the whole situation. The cleanest fix is to hand it a noun to hold on to. The store lost power, and this outage ruined the whole day. Just add a noun, this outage, and suddenly the pronoun is anchored to something real. So the rule is simple. Never leave this, that, which, or it pointing at nothing. The third trap is the indefinite you and they. This is when we use they or you not to name anyone in particular, but to vaguely mean people in general. Listen, in some cultures, they take off their shoes indoors. Who is they? Nobody specific. And in careful writing, that's just too loose. The fix is to name them. In some cultures, people take off their shoes indoors. The same goes for the vague you. You need a permit to camp here. Who is you? Me, personally? Better to recast it. Campers need a permit here. In everyday speech, these slip right by, but in formal writing, always say exactly who you mean. So how do you catch these problems in your own writing? You run one simple test on every pronoun you use. Just ask, exactly which noun does this point to? That's the whole test. If there's one clear noun staring right back at you, you're fine. Leave the pronoun alone. But if there's no clear noun, or if there are 2 nouns it could grab, that's your signal to reword the sentence or replace the pronoun with the actual noun. And here's the honest truth behind all of it. If you have to stop and guess what a pronoun means, your reader will have to guess too. And good writing never makes them guess. Let's gather everything into a quick checklist you can carry into any sentence. 1. Every pronoun needs one clearly stated noun behind it, a real antecedent the reader can find. 2. If a pronoun could grab 2 possible nouns, reword the sentence so only one meaning survives. 3. If you catch a vague this, that, which, or it, add a noun right after it to give it something solid to name. And 4, if you spot an indefinite you or they standing in for people in general, just name who you actually mean. Hold on to one idea and the rest follows. One pronoun, one clear antecedent, every single time. Let's put it to work. Let's practice. In this first set, I'll show you a sentence, and you decide whether the pronoun reference is clear or faulty in some way. Read it closely, find the pronoun, and ask which noun it points to. Pause the video and try each on your own before I reveal the answer. Kevin called Daniel after he lost the game. Find the pronoun. That's he. Now, who lost the game? It could be Kevin, or it could be Daniel. The sentence honestly doesn't tell us. 2 possible antecedents means the reference is ambiguous, so this one is faulty. She trained hard and ate well, and it really paid off. The tricky word here is it, but what noun does it point to? There isn't one. It's reaching for the whole idea of her effort, not any single noun. That's vague reference, so this one is faulty too. Maria proofread her essay before class. The pronoun is her, and there's only one person it could belong to, Maria. One pronoun, one obvious owner, no confusion at all. So this reference is perfectly clear. Nice work. In this second set, each sentence has a faulty pronoun, and I'll give you 2 possible revisions. Choose the one that actually fixes the problem, the version where every pronoun points to one clear noun. Pause and try each before I answer. In Canada, they play a lot of hockey. The problem is they. It doesn't name anyone in particular. It's the indefinite they. The first revision just keeps that vague they, so it doesn't help at all. The second one names who we mean, many people. That's the real fix, so the answer is the second option. The manager told the intern that she was promoted. Who is she, the manager or the intern? We can't tell, so it's ambiguous. The first revision still leaves that same fuzzy she, so it doesn't fix anything. The second turns it into a direct quote. You are promoted. And now there's no doubt at all. The answer is the second option. The engine overheated, which made us miss the ferry. That which is vague, there's no single noun it names. The second revision just adds the word then, but the vague which is still sitting there. The first revision replaces it with a real noun, this breakdown, which points to something solid. So the answer is the first option. Let's pull it all together. Clear pronoun reference comes down to 3 traps to avoid. First, ambiguous reference, a pronoun that could point to 2 different nouns. You fix it by rewording so only one meaning survives. Second, vague reference, a this, that, which, or it, with no clear noun behind it. You fix it by adding a noun to anchor it. And third, the indefinite you and they, standing in for people in general. In formal writing, name exactly who you mean. Run the test on every pronoun. Which one noun does this point to? And your writing will always be clear. That wraps up Unit 7. You did some really careful thinking today, and it shows. I'll see you in the next lesson.